Hey, this is Rob Anspach, and welcome back to another edition of eHeroes. For those keeping count, this is episode 246, and my guest last appeared 3.5 years ago on episode 74. So I want to welcome back Brandon Straza. Thanks for being here. And no, we're not going to talk about hair.
Well, I mean, you brought it up. So since you decided to bring it up, your hair's looking amazing today. And I didn't even I can't even compare, which, just say it's good to see you. And I can't believe it was 3+ years ago. And no, this will not be a infomercial on the Hair Club for Men or anything like that. But anyone that's, listening to this right now, I really encourage you to click on whatever link is below and just comment on how beautiful Rob's hair is looking.
And that's it. That's the episode now.
Yeah. Cheers, everybody.
I brought Brandon back because he has an awesome product that I think every entrepreneur should look at, should use, should utilize, and it's growing by numbers every day, and it's so packed full of stuff that we all use anyway. So why not use it? So I'll let you share the details and we can go from there.
Yeah, it's interesting. Why not use something? And we've got so many somethings being shoved down our throat. I mean, that's the thing. Like, so many things are in front of us. There's so much dopamine. There's so much scroll anymore. It's tough to know how to weed out, go through the bushes and weed out the noise. And that's really what we built. We built the noise distractor in the signal finder, and it might be helpful to kind of go back to a little bit of why it was built for what it was. And really, it started with me becoming a parent and seeing things differently. It was almost like I had forgotten. I was like Peter Pan, and I grew up and I forgot how to be a kid again. But when I became a parent, I actually started questioning. And then I realized all of a sudden that, I was able to live in a world where I didn't have to think outside of a box. I lived in a world where there was no box. Mm-hmm. And it was all through looking through the lens of with childlike curiosity. It wasn't like, how can I be a disruptor? So often we hear, we're the disruptors, we're the crazy kids. And I'm not saying that that's incorrect. But I didn't ever set out to be the crazy kid or the disruptor. Mm-hmm. I always set out from solving problems. When you solve a problem, money can be a byproduct. Something else can be a byproduct. The positive energy that you put out, if you're looking for what's going to come back, you're not going to get that back a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. But when you put that out, the magnet and that energy, you don't know how it's going to return to you. So if you're putting positive energy out without relying upon what the outcome is, the return could be financial, could be spiritual, could be health, could be just relationship, could be business. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. And so we really built the noise distractor. And in a world where there's about 2.1 quintillion amounts of new data being put out on the thing we call the internet today, we don't know what to pay attention to. And so it was really looking at how I wanted Liam, who's now 8, to have an unfair advantage as he grew, not just because we were his parents, but the tools and the places that he had access to know how to block out this distraction and bring this. And so it wasn't, how do we teach people we wanted to teach people how to think for themselves as opposed to being told how to think. Mm-hmm. So when we built the Success Finder, it was, how do we sit there and make it responsive? It's not to react to what you want. If you say that you want health and wellness, if you say that you want, entrepreneurship or copywriting, it responds. It's responding to what you are saying. So we can actually take back control and make the outcome based off of what we have done. So we built a platform because I wanted something better for myself, for my son, and for the people around me. I didn't know how that was going to look or what that was going to be. But it wasn't like, I need this result, I need this financial outcome. I needed a tool. Now, if the tool already existed, wouldn't have built it. I would have used someone else's tool. because anyone out there that's listening that has built a platform, okay, and no, when I say build a platform, that is not white labeling Go High Level, and this is not a knock against Go High Level or a Facebook group or just a website. Like anyone that has truly built a platform will probably understand what I'm saying right here. I wouldn't recommend doing it. Like going and building something from scratch, it's not easy. But when you lead with the give mentality and you build something of purpose and not knowing what that outcome is and not needing a specific outcome, you can truly build something that is special, that is helpful, and it is there to be useful. Right. Because it's not about being right. It's about being helpful.
And I think that's the reason I keep writing books. It's just, I just want to be helpful to the entrepreneurs that are seeking that information. It's not about, hey, I'm right, you're wrong. It's about giving them a different perspective and how to think. Yeah. And, your system has simplified a lot of the things that are out there that I don't have to deal with anymore. I can just jump on, learn from the things I want to learn from, and move on. With Facebook, you can't say, I want to learn just entrepreneurial stuff because everything gets shoved into everything. I mean, you got to keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling to find out what you want. And it's not always what you want. It's just what they're going to show you.
I'm going to do something live here real quick because I did this the other day when I was traveling back. Okay, I'm going to go through and see how many things I see. If I say post, it's a post from someone that I'm connected with. And if I say ad, it's obviously an ad. Post, ad, suggested for me. So we'll call that an ad. Post, ad, post, ad. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Facebook isn't broken. Every system is designed for the outcome that we get. And so I actually have no problem with Facebook and how things are in there. I used to get angry about it, but why? It is designed for the outcome that we get. The one that really still rubs me a little wrong is LinkedIn, to be honest with you, because they still haven't really figured out their identity. And, I got more things happening, well, it's still the system that it's outcome, but I don't know. We'll stay off that one. But how many ads did I go through? I had more ads and suggestion, which still is like an ad, to join something, than I had people that I was actually looking to learn from, listen from, find out a memory that we had from them. I find that very interesting. And that's really what we wanted to stay away from, was not building a platform. So the platform, for anyone that's listening right now, it is for leaders and learners. Okay. The leaders lead, the learners learn, and then they work together and learners can become leaders. Okay. It is a distraction-free platform for leaders to be able to educate, communicate, and monetize their communities how they see fit. And it takes away the ads, it takes away the algorithms, and it takes away the salesy pitches that so often we have to waste our time. When you have to deal with an algorithm, okay, and you want to get your message out to your community, I want you to realize that you are serving two sides of this coin. And I can be wrong on this one, but please tell me. You are not only, you're there to serve your members, but don't kid yourself that you're also serving the algorithm, okay? And you have to remember, how is that? Let's take it one step further. So you're serving your members, you're serving an algorithm. Now let's take this. How is that algorithm being served to your members? So are we really doing what's in the best interest of them by going down this route? Well, it's the devil we know versus the devil we don't know. And I get that, but don't kid yourself at the end of the day that how we interact with people is based off of what the algorithm wants us to see.
Right. And again, it goes back to noise. We're getting bombarded with noise constantly. And for me, it's always been about simplifying what I do. Is what I'm doing contributing to the noise, or providing a respite or a pause from the noise? And when I look at your system, your platform compared to Facebook or LinkedIn, granted, it's not a social network, but it can be. But if you wanted to have Zooms like this, like we're doing now through this podcast, easily with your system, and it cuts out all that noise that I don't want which allows me then to focus on capturing the information I need right then and there.
It takes step out. How much energy, time, energy, and effort? Because there's only so much in a day. There's 24 hours a day. Life and death are certain. Okay. We live, then we die. What happens in between is something that we can actually take control of. Okay. So picture a bridge. You are here and you want to get here. But everything, all this noise is a continuous distraction. So it's like a bridge to bedazzlement. And so as opposed to going on that straight line, we're going up and down, up and down, up and down with all these distractions. When in the reality is we need to start unplugging. Yes, I built a platform, which you have to plug in for per se, but I'm telling you to unplug. You get what you want when it matters most to you, and then you go on with your day. I'm starting, writing in this book right here. It's Success Finder book right here. Okay.
Nice.
Just a little journal when we have events. And I'm making little ticks on how many times I distract myself. Okay, I'm allowing myself to be distracted if I go to different areas. And so if I'm like, okay, this is my task, you should take from here to here. Okay. And I know task, whatever, but this is what I need to accomplish. How many times did I'm like, oh, ding, vibrate, notification, whatever it is. And so if I choose to pay attention to that distraction, okay, I chose to do that, even though it is encouraging me to, that dopamine, I'm ticking it because I'm seeing right now, what can I start removing from my life that is really distracting me? Because you know what I want at the end of the day? I'm going to spend more time with my family, friends, and business partners. That's truly what matters to me. Now, we say that we want to spend more time doing X, Y, and Z, but we put all these things in the way. So are we really wanting to spend more time with them? Because here's the thing, when we simplify our lives, when we enrich ourselves and we get to where we want a little bit faster, we have all this free time. I want you to prepare yourself for this. I want you to write this down. Okay, utilizing the Success Finder. If it helps start freeing up your time and you start having all this extra time, we try to then fill it with something else, which just is getting us further away from what we truly want. And the Success Finder is designed to get in, get out, and move on with your day so you have more of your time back, more of your life back, but prepare yourself for what you are going to fill that time with.
Right.
Because usually we fill it with just more garbage. You know why I know that? Because I did it, just like you did it, just like everyone else does it. And you don't have to.
We can't get away from these. So we free up our time, but then we're checking our phone constantly as we're, hiking or at an amusement park or wherever we're at. I see so many people on the beach. I'm like, why aren't you watching the waves? Why aren't you enjoying the peace? No, they got to still be connected. You free up your time to do what? To be now captured by this thing again.
Well, that does look like an iPhone 3. So I didn't even know the iPhone 3 still worked. And I think we're on like the iPhone 14 at this point. But hey, everyone, just so you know, yeah, it's a 3. Don't let them kid yourself. Here's the thing that we want to fill more of our time, or at least I do, and the people that are building on the platform, and then the learners that are learning on there. All right, I've got an extra hour back to my day. What does that really mean? Because an hour back to your day, you got to look at what that means. If I can give you an hour a day, 5 days a week, so we'll count the weekends just a little bit differently and stuff. Okay. 5 days a week, I give you, that's 3, that's 5 hours in a week. Okay. That's 260 hours in a year. And if we divide that by 24, here's the thing that we really drive home. What if you could actually get a full 10 days of your life back? I'm not talking business hours. I'm talking waking, sleeping, dreaming, being. And that's what we're building towards on the Success Finders. How can we give you 1 hour a day back of your life? And in turn, that hour can be compounded into your family, to the community. And what does that really mean? And so that's when I, looked at my unfair advantage. Because I had built it. It wasn't given to me. I clawed, I scraped, I found a way to build a foundation that allowed me to, take some calculated risks when we went and built the Success Finder. But I wanted to be able to give that to other people. And so the reality is I saw myself and I saw other people. I'm like, how can I give you 1 hour a day back in your life in order to do more good or to just be at peace? And that's really what we should be looking for if that's what matters to you. Just because I'm saying that's what we should be looking for, if it matters to you and what you can do with that hour based off of you saying, I want health and wellness, and in turn, I am given health and wellness, as opposed to sponsored ad. And Rob, you run ads for other people, and I'm not knocking the ad industry, has
Knock
nothing to
it.
do with it. We have someone on the platform that teaches $7 ads. They teach ads. She's a dear friend of mine. She's an amazing human. And yes, I get it. It is something that we need, that we have. I'm not saying that ads are bad by any means. Okay. I've run ads with Rob. Rob and I worked on a project a few years ago that was very unique, very interesting. We won't go into the details because it'll probably, but that helped bring Rob and I even a little bit closer. And so it's getting what you truly want, as opposed to relying upon someone else telling you, oh, you need this.
Right. And I think one of the key factors of both of us is our family. You have kids,
Yes.
I have kids and grandkids, and one of the things for me going forward in life is to slow down time, to get more back in my day. Because I always feel like we're being rushed here, there, everywhere. Yeah, we have these devices that can save us time, microwaves, this and that, ovens, and whatever. We can go to the grocery store and buy all our meals. We don't have to cook them anymore. But is it really slowing down our time? Is it really giving us back time so that we can go out and enjoy life better? And so that's what I'm looking at going into the future. I don't want to take on more jobs that just keep me busy. I want jobs that are fulfilling, that allow me to go off and just do stuff without being tied to this thing constantly.
Yeah. And we keep talking. It's like we talk the talk, but we don't walk the walk.
Mhm.
And it's, we want this, but our actions say otherwise.
We've been programmed. I can't say by society. I can't even say by other people, but it's just how it's been over the last 20 years, and it's just gotten worse in social media. We have to tune in constantly, and I'm like, no, we need to tune out that noise so that we can slow down time.
Right. And again, time's going to come. It's going to go. We're going to live. We're going to have our process, and then we're going to die. But it's how we live is really how we are remembered, and the impact that we can make. And again, one of my favorite sayings, and so we've got all different kinds of communities on the platform. And one of my favorite ones is a children's community. Okay. And these children, again, if it wasn't for them, if it wasn't for Liam, I wouldn't see things the way that I do now. I wouldn't have gotten that childlike curiosity to go build what we have built.
Mm-hmm.
The pebble in the pond becomes the mountain in the ocean. And everyone's always looking out here. How can I impact 1 billion lives? How can I do this? You have to start with one pebble. See that ripple effect. You might not recognize how that energy comes back to you. Okay, because you're expecting a certain frequency to come back to you. But when you cast your own, proverbial pebble, it ripples, and eventually those ripples hit an edge, and then they start coming back. Okay, you don't know how they're going to come back, but when you live through that, and then you have a platform that will help you through that, and what it's going to do, the compounding effect is something that you might not be able to measure, but it's okay. Not being able to measure something is okay. And we want you to have those positive outcomes.
Yeah, one of the I like when you say, all about measurement. A lot of my clients now are all on this data kick. They want to know everything there is to know about their business, utilizing all the data that's out there. But here's the thing, is that most businesses only utilize about 7% of the data that they generate every single day, and they don't know how to use it to actually communicate with their clients. The Success Finder has actually tapped into that ability to make it easier to communicate with your clients.
Yeah. And all we want to do is simplify. We want to be an assistant, like a branch of you that helps not only you, because when we built it, we looked at it from two sides. It's the TripAdvisor for communities and communication and education. Okay. We didn't just sit there and say, okay, how can we build a simplified, amazing system for the leaders, for the coaches? We also said, what is that user experience going to look like for the learners, for the members? And then how can we have that work together in like a beautiful harmony where it's like a concerto coming out? I'm trying to think of some so-and-so's Fifth Symphony, whatever that is. But that was really the idea. We looked at it from both sides, and we do see a lot of platforms out there that might be tailored more towards one side, and it wasn't. Like, we serve both sides, because the minute that we only serve one side, then we're going to lean and be biased towards something. I have someone in my family who puts that mirror up in front of my face, and she says, hey, have you really been thinking about how the learner is going to, utilize pieces right here? And I'm like, oh yeah. And have we really? Let's make sure that we are still, keeping hyper focused on that side as well. And that's my beautiful wife and business partner, Angela. And she is such an advocate because she knows I came from the learner side. I came from how do I make a system that actually helps simplify my life and who I'm learning from. Everything out there, anyone can be a guru, anyone can be a coach. Really? I don't think so.
I'm not a guru.
Everybody has a story. Well, you have a story. It doesn't mean that you need to share it, and people should, it depends on what that story is. And that being the case, we need to, again, back to the noise. We need to, who is going to help us, how to think, not what we should think. We are relying and suckling off the something of something all the time, to where we are reliant upon how we live our life. Mm-hmm. Being told, go do this, and it's, well, this governing body, okay, this corporation, this whatever, has told me to go do this. If it works out, great. But if it doesn't, I'm going to sit there and complain. Take control of your life back. Mm-hmm. Take control of your time back, and help yourself be responsible for the outcome that you're getting. And that's what we're there to do. We are there to simplify those pieces for the leader and for the learner.
Yeah, and for all those that are listening that are paying someplace to host your course, the Success Finder just made it easier, because you can just put all your content right there. Your course is hosted, and guess what? You don't have to pay for it. It's a phenomenal system that just keeps growing.
Yeah. I mean, you'll notice we didn't talk too much about tech, but when it comes to tech, we're pretty friggin' good at it. Like, and yes, your payment processing, your courses, your modules, your quiz features to work with, the members to make sure that they're actually retaining and able to implement, what's going on out there. The children's communities use it the most, actually, the quiz feature that's in there to go on to even the next module, or to get onto the next Zoom call. They're utilizing that quiz feature in there. Yes, we have a knowledge center where other members are able to find and learn from you, and then maybe interact with you inside your community. Yes, we have, one of the world's first, what we call ICS, in community streaming, to where your members are not leaving your community because they get on a conference call with you. All this tech out there. Beyond that, you'll notice I won't go, we'll stay away from the tech side of it. But yeah, we have simplified it. You don't no longer do you need to zap it or duct tape it. It's like, listen, all we did is we took the pieces that you are currently utilizing from a coaching, leadership, community course structure, and all the pieces that members and learners are trying to find out there. We just got rid of the distractions and the noises and all the extra pieces, the unwanted fluff, and only utilized what actually was going to help get you there faster.
Right. And for me, I love the system because I was so tired of people Frankensteining their systems together and then calling me and say, Rob, fix it. I can't fix it if I don't know the system. Oh, Rob, just learn it, and then you can fix it for me. I don't want to learn 100 different things. Yeah. It's not that I don't want to. It's just I don't have the time to learn it. So yeah, with this, nothing gets broken. It's so much easier.
Yeah. I mean, this is what we heard. I use my payment processing for this over here. I use my course management for this over here. I use my communication for this over here. I use my video streaming for this over here. I use my community for this over here. I use, this to do audio over, audio calls over here. I utilize this for, I also utilize this because I have multiple communities that span across this, even though they're really kind of the same thing, but I have to have it separated because of the different gold, silver, bronze levels that I have. Okay, like how much of your day is spent in duct taping? And then also think about it. Anytime you tell someone to go over here to do a different piece, number one, distraction. Number two, they're less likely. They're around 85% less likely to actually do that action. Oh, I'll get back to that later.
Mm-hmm.
So you're losing out on communication, and let's be honest, on sales, because you're sending them to all these different places when one will do that you don't have to Frankenstein.
Right. Yeah. It's gets mind numbing after a while. And then you have, and as a consumer, me, I get these emails. Hey, Rob, just meet me over here in this clubhouse, or meet me over here in this video room, or that. I'm being directed all different types of places. I don't want to go. Just send me one place.
Yeah. Who's wagging the tail? At the end of the day. And so, I just took a look at what is going to make my life easier. And as I have we have an 8-year-old son now, what's going to make his future better? Frederick Douglass has a saying that I'll put together as easily as possible. How do we build strong children so we don't have to fix broken adults? Okay. And that's really what we're leaning towards, is we want to take not only who we are, that we are looking out that window on who we see ourselves are, but putting that mirror up in front of us so we can see what's actually happening. And then how do we actually help you through that process based off of the community that you're in, who you're learning from, how you're learning it, how do we simplify and taking out those distractions? I wanted to build a better future, not only for myself and my son and my family, but also for those that gravitated towards simplifying who they are and what they wanted. And that's what it was, is if it already existed, I would have just used the darn thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's. I am. I guess over the last 10 years, my message has always been the same: simplify. But and I'm probably the biggest opponent against shiny objects.
Yeah.
But
SOS.
Entrepreneurs get sucked into, they suffer from shiny object syndrome, and they buy and consume all these shiny objects, and then they wonder why at the end of the month they have no money, or two, all their money is going to these programs that don't work, or don't work like they're supposed to, or consume all their time. To me, it's why,
Yeah.
But you can't. It's some of them you just can't tell them what they're doing is wrong.
Right.
Well, I think it's an addiction. They just like to buy stuff.
Yeah, we are there. So I'll tell you, we are there for those that want to help simplify their life and give them their time back. That's who we're there for. That's who the success finder. That's who the leaders on the platform are there for, is people that want to simplify and give themselves more time. If not, don't lie to yourself. That's okay if you don't want to, but get a book and just a piece of paper. Every time you get distracted throughout your day, just do a tick, 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 tick. And then at the end of the week, look how many times you distract yourself. Well, do I really need this system? Do I really need to go visit this website? Do I really need to go do these things? And figure a tick is at least, depending on how long, just on average, do a tick is 5 to 10 minutes. And then see how many times you ticked.
And not only that, look at the amount of ticks that you did during the day, and then times that by even $1.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, how much money are you going to owe yourself? Because I can guarantee it's probably going to be at least $100.
$100 not spent, $100 recaptured is actually worth more than $100, folks. I don't know if you realize it. So if I give you $100, if I take $100 away from your expenses, okay, and we equate that to time on the Success Finder, and you get that back, it's actually worth more than $100, because what did it actually take you to get that $100, as opposed to recapturing that $100?
Yeah.
We will give you more time if that's what you're looking for. Depends. What are you looking for? But the Success Finder is there to be a tool to help you get in, get on, and get out.
Yeah. Yeah. When I started looking at time as money, I mean, really looking at it, I started getting more hyper focused on how much work I get done in a day. And just the example today, from 7 in the morning till about 11, 4-hour time span, I worked on like 27 blogs. I did finished up on another book for a client, did some social posts, did a bunch of other stuff. But when you look at all the stuff that I did in 4 hours, most people will take them all week to get done.
Right.
Look at your time, look at what you want to make per hour, look at the distractions, and you're going to find that when you can compress all that wasted time into productivity, you get so much more work done.
Yeah. Well, if what you're looking for is you want an extra hour to go on a walk, to breathe the air, to just sit there and meditate, or sit there and do what is in the best interest of you and your household, we're there for you. If that's not what you're looking for, then maybe that's not what it's for. It's for whomever it is for and what you're looking to get out of it. But we do have the best interest in simplifying and getting rid of the noise. That's what we have built. And I haven't seen a platform out there that's looking to go do that. Like,
Right.
If you look at the true, follow the money, follow the resource, follow what they really want.
Mm-hmm.
If you really look at the underlying thing, you'll realize they're not in the best interest. They built it based around how can we financially monetize my actions,
Right.
as opposed to we built something to how is it to help simplify what you wanted in life.
Well,
That's it.
And if you look at all the stuff that Facebook has done, and I'm going to use Facebook as the prime example because they're the ones that are doing it more often. They designed their system to steal your time so that you're always on their platform, so you never look away. Whereas Brandon's the Success Finder has designed the program, the platform, to give you back more of your time so that you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, the time saver, but that's what it's there. We are there for you. If we're for you, we're there for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. Head on over to the Success Finder, find the community that speaks to you, find the leader that is going to help you and your household, find the knowledge center piece, and just give yourself time back.
Mm-hmm.
Get a book, write the ticks, find the answer, equate that to every tick is $1, and then multiply that dollar by 365. It's the amount of days in a year. And see what that is, and know that if it is, 100 ticks, then know that that's actually far more costly than 100 ticks.
Right. And I guarantee that if you count the ticks, you're going to be owing yourself money at the end of the day, because you'll have ticked yourself to death.
Yeah, you'll have ticked yourself off so much. We're going to give you your ticks back. That's what we're here for. We are here for you.
So how do people find you? Where do they go?
Yeah. So head on over to the Success Finder. Okay. The Success Finder. You'll see an orange logo, this beautiful little S thing that looks like a looking glass.
.io.
Yeah. .com. The Success Finder. Thank you, Rob. Thank you. Checks in the mail. TheSuccessFinder.com. And it takes less than 30 seconds to get on the platform. You can get on literally in less than 30 seconds. And then you say, this is what I'm looking for. This is the type of person I want to learn from. This is the price point that I'm looking for to learn in this, or this size of community I'm looking to learn from. Go there. If you want to follow us on social, you know, you won't see us really, we're promoting ourselves, but through the eyes of the other leaders. Like, hey, here's this free course over here. Hey, here's this community over here that's free and open. Hey, here's this knowledge centerpiece. So we're promoting, it's really easy to go do this, because it's just like sharing what the other leaders are doing on the platform. They're creating the content, they're creating the courses, they're creating the community. And all we're doing in turning is going back and remarketing and sharing what is possible on the platform. We've got one that I'm really excited about once we can get back on the legal side of things, that I can't wait to be able to share pieces of that when the time is right. But we've got amazing leaders, communities, and members, best on the planet. And we're going to continue to grow and do what's in the best interest of the leader and learner.
There you go, folks. So if you're in front of your computer or even your phone, go to successfinder.com.
TheSuccessFinder.com.
There you go. TheSuccessFinder.com, and sign up. Doesn't take that long. You'll even get a glorious welcome message from Brandon, and just see how easy it is, and start taking back your time.
We're not in the App Store yet, so it is best on PC. It is still built for PC, tablet, so on and so forth. We'll eventually move it into the App Store, but it was by design. We wanted to go web-based first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy it. I like being on there, and you know, just the interaction that I've gotten from the group Zooms has just been phenomenal. And you know, the leaders that are on there are all top notch. I know most of them. I can vouch for them, and you can't go wrong.
You deserve better. The person that this is for right now, you deserve better. And that's what we're there for, is to give you better, to give you time. We're here for you.
Right. And isn't that what all of us as entrepreneurs are striving for? To give back, to give not only to our consumers, but our B2B partners. We're just trying to give back. And you know, helping others either slow down time, giving back time, not ticking them off, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. And the legal person right there, I just see her under your left shoulder, right below that. So there she is. Hello. But Rob, I appreciate it, man. I can't believe that was 3.5 years ago. I consider you a dear friend, and you and I have some. I cherish the conversations when I have them, and it's not all the time, but when we do, we go into at least 5 or 6 different domains within an hour. We go through them, and it's like it's like we haven't skipped a beat.
Right. Yeah, and you know, that's the type of conversation that I like to have with everybody. You know, I want them to understand that, yeah, I can be sarcastic, I can be a smart aleck, but I got your back. And you know, whether you're a client, a friend, or a colleague, you know, I'm always going to be there for you.
Yeah. You define what success means to you, and our platform will be there with you.
All right. Anyway, everybody else, we'll see you guys on the next episode. Adios.